Hey everyone, happy Halloween. Today I want to tell you a bit of a scary story of how I got started in creating monthly marketing strategies and really what my life looked like before I implemented some of the strategies I'm going to be teaching you guys about today. So when I first started out in my business, I was working full time as a president of a fitness company, so 9 to 5 plus days. And then I was trying to get my side hustle up and running, working with coaches and trying to figure out where my people were. And so I was exhausted. I was consistently sending messages, hey girl messages, basically, to different Beachbody coaches, adding them as friends, and really relying on I call it spraying and praying in hopes that I could talk to enough coaches that were 5-star plus, and then I could get in front of their teams, do some training with them, and then teach them about what I had to offer to be successful. So this I started my business. It was December of not last year but the year before. And it was getting pretty exhausting. Every month I was launching and trying to do this same repetitive pattern. And really, I felt at that time, my mindset was, if I just keep messaging people, eventually more coaches will, let me do my presentation thing and teach, because I know that's where I can shine. That's where I can really show people my value. But the problem was I was starting to run out of people. I remember there was a specific coach that one of the girls I was really close with put me in touch with, and her name was Ellie. And I kept sending Ellie messages. And I probably sent her about 8 messages before she finally responded back and was like, all right, weirdo. Like, she didn't say that exactly, but I know that's exactly what she was thinking, because she told me later, she was like, you just didn't give up. Like, you were just kept messaging me. And although I, at that moment, was like, yeah, like, I definitely have that grit and I will, I won't give up on people. But at the same time, I sort of felt like, this is a lot of work to get one person to say yes, and then I know how this is going to go. So I knew that something needed to change, and I really sought out a ton of different training. I did courses over courses from trusted influencers. I had done Marie Forleo. She has a course called B School. I had done a lot of Jenna Kutcher's courses, as well as Amy Porterfield. And the one thing that kept coming up was that, one, I noticed they always had like this funnel. I didn't maybe know what that was called at the time, but I knew that when I went to their website or I interacted with them, there was something they were giving away for free. And normally it was something that I couldn't believe they were giving away for free. So I immediately put my email address in, and then they started emailing me. So it really wasn't that I started to trust these influencers because I was consistently seeing their social media posts. Like, that's not the case at all. I was seeing them in my inbox. And even if I wasn't always reading them, it sort of felt like they were just always there. Like, I've been getting Jenna Kutcher emails for the last 2 years. And it pushed me to want to learn more about their method and from them, because I started to like them and feel like I knew a lot about them. So it formulated trust and likability. And although I wasn't confident that what they were teaching me would really work for me, I had this feeling like, wow, that works for people that have bigger lists. Like, sure, when you have a bigger email list, that's definitely going to make a difference in your business. But for me, I don't have a big email list, and I haven't even been creating one. So this isn't a lever that I can pull in my business to bring in, more of my ideal customers. But I decided that I would at least get the foundation set up and then see how it went. I created a freebie for myself, and then I started putting it out there and had an email list that I would email like once in a while. I really wasn't committed to the process because I wasn't sure it was going to work. And I did everything on social. It was all about doing training calls, just getting in front of my ideal people and trying to put out enough posts on social media. So hopefully, like fingers crossed, the right people saw it. And it was definitely a recipe for burnout, for sure. It was taking a lot of effort and not getting a lot of results in between. So I decided to really go all in, and I actually utilized my freebies. Like I created some more freebies and really tried to understand what my ideal coaches were looking for so that I could serve them up with a lot of value. And one thing I think I really, just through talking to my ideal coaches, I really solidified like, okay, like 5 days of done for you posts is really what they need. And maybe that's just like you know, your customers are like crazy over 5-day meal plans. They like just can't believe it's free. They can't help put their email in. So I started with the freebie and then noticed like a ton of people wanted it, which was great. Like finally I've created something that people want. And then I started to email my list. And what I found is that I would always ask people to reply back. And I started getting like all these people emailing me after I had sent out an email. And it just felt like I was really actually helping and making a difference. And fast forward now to, I've been in this business now 2 years in December, and I have realized that the key to all success for online entrepreneurs, if you don't want to be stuck to your phone all day, if you don't want to be consistently checking messages or sending hey girl messages or just inviting to your cold audience, is to make sure that you have what I call a communication funnel. So this means that you post on social media, yes, to pique curiosity and to like build your relationship with your audience so they know more about who you are. But then your goal is to get them into a free community or both, a freebie that is going to build value. Now you want to email collect on the way in if you run a free community, and then you're going to start emailing them and just sharing things that are things that you've learned, lessons, things that are really going to help them scale up and be successful. And the biggest difference I noticed in my business when I started to pivot and I stopped focusing with all my eggs in social media, I really started to think more about how can I provide value? How can I get in their inbox? Because I know they will see my name at least. That will keep coming up. And what I found is all of a sudden, all of my efforts could shift into creating really good tools and doing more Facebook Lives and doing the stuff that I really felt was making a difference versus just putting something up on social media, hoping that that would sell all my programs, and knowing that although it felt like it was a lot of work for a little bit of the effort, it was kind of like that analogy, like is the juice worth the squeeze? It really wasn't, but I didn't know that there was a different way. I just thought I wasn't at that point in my business. I was big enough to really necessitate an email list. So after I started to see results from this and thinking, wow, like I feel really good. One, I don't have to be on social all the time. Two, I can really focus my efforts in the areas of doing more serving my audience instead of coming up with exactly what to post. And I work with a coach named Bria, who you guys may be familiar with. And we implemented this system for her too, and it started to work for her. And this is what she says about creating this communication funnel. She says the biggest difference I've noticed is actually starting to cultivate relationships. I was creating more know, like, and trust, and I started seeing more cold market success. And so that's exactly summed up what a communication funnel does for you. Is it takes the strain off of selling on social, like that first message, you've been watching my stories, like you should join me, or I think you'd be a good coach. Like it really takes the pressure off trying to make that connection right at the top, because we know it takes a while for people to really know if you fit them and they fit you, right? So this process allows you to build your relationship in an organic way and to cultivate a relationship, because we know that people will do business with those that they like. If there's two people that have the exact same product, you will always go to the person that you like a little bit more. right? That's how we buy. We rationalize it in our brains in a different way, but it's this warm, fuzzy feeling of like, I trust this person, therefore I trust the product. So instead of really having all that weight on the front end in social, it's a reverse where it's on the back end where you can get a lot more intimate with how you are talking to your ideal customers, being in their inbox, knowing that they're really going to see more of your stuff. So that is ultimately, although you guys may know me as the Done For You Queen, where I started with Done For You social media posts, there's absolutely still a big need for those. Some coaches just want to start there, and I still offer those monthly posting plans and monthly membership where you can just start with 30 posts. But if you feel like something's missing, if you feel that you're sick of the hey girl messages, and when you get them, they turn you off too. If you're not wanting to be in that uncomfortable place, because what can sometimes happen is people will actually, they'll stop inviting because it feels so uncomfortable for them, and they're right to feel that way. If it feels uncomfortable for you, it only will do the exact same, because usually our ideal customers are very, very much like us. So if you feel uncomfortable, they definitely feel uncomfortable. So if you're ready to implement something different that starts from a place of, I want to get to know you, I want to establish some trust with you, I want to show you that I'm an expert on this and that I've learned a lot along the way, then having the communication funnel is an essential step in you being able to help put a lot of this stuff on autopilot. If you don't want to be constantly messaging people and following up like 10 times and being like, I wonder if I've been ghosted. It's like, yes, they haven't replied in 6 messages. It is, you are being ghosted. So it really is about taking that next step, getting a little more serious and starting to do what the pros do. And this is what the pros do, 100%. They have these funnels of a freebie leading to a freebie or a free community, then leading to an email series where we start to warm up our audience so they're primed and ready when you have an offer. That's the biggest thing with social, is that you really can't make sure that your audience gets the right message in the right order. They may see posts, they may not, and then you don't know if they've gotten that priming message before you make an offer, because we all know before you make an offer, you have to overcome the objections. You have to be able to foresee what those are and overcome them. So I just wanted to share that, because I think the biggest result difference I saw is I was doing training for like usually 12 to 15 people a month when I first started. And now I have 1,200 coaches that I work with. So you can see the difference. Your ability to scale and to help more people doing what you love to do all lies with your ability to set up this communication funnel for yourself. And if you're really ready to do something different, this is your time. We start tomorrow, November 1st. There are options that you can just start with Done For You posts, but if you're really ready to go all in and you've been doing the same thing over and over and not getting the real result, this is your time to do this. So it's available at ashleyshaw.ca/the monthly marketing strategy. And there are 2 bonuses this month. So if you're already a member, you're going to get these. These are included. But if you're not a member yet, these are the 2 things that you're going to get on top of your membership. There is a community called Social Selling Mastery. And this is a community that is just for the monthly marketing members. And it is a Facebook community dedicated to social selling strategies. So every month, we're going to be digging into really understanding your customer language, how to put together your messaging and positioning, how to make sure that you understand the objections and know how to overcome them. Because the more that you do of this work and this training, the more you're going to be able to tweak your own messages and tweak your emails. And that is obviously a lot of coaches, I hear that tons of times, they want to make sure that in joining the monthly marketing strategy that they're not just copy and pasting everything. They want to add their own touch to that. And that is absolutely the goal here, is to give you a template, but then have you really deeply understand what your market needs to hear in order to take action. And then the second bonus that you're going to get is ideal customer training. So this includes a video on how to really look at your current data and find out who your ideal customers are, some of the key questions that you need to ask yourself. This, for me, when I first did this activity and then later developed it, this was the difference for me from any of my businesses in the past being an expensive hobby to finally generating revenue and income and paying the bills. So that is why this module is so important. You'll get a worksheet to fill out to really make sure that you understand who you're speaking to. And then you'll have access to me in the Facebook group to help walk you through any roadblocks or stumblings along the way. The best part about the community is not only that I will be present in there, of course, to answer any of your questions, it's always the people that you surround yourself with. So these are going to be coaches that are really at the next level in their business. They're not just, coaches that kind of dabble here and there and do it on the side. Like, these are coaches that there's 5-star plus diamonds in there that you can learn from. And sometimes our networks don't always allow that crossover where you guys have access to those people. So that's another reason I'm so excited about the new bonuses that are coming. It's new this month, so you'll get right in the first day of the month. So go to ashleyshaw.ca/monthly marketing strategy to learn all about what is included. And I would love for you guys, if you have any questions about this process that I can answer, definitely pop them in the comments below there. I would love to answer them and help make this a really easy decision for you to get started on the right foot come November 1st with the support and the accessibility to the right tools to ensure that you're successful in your Beachbody journey. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the inside of the monthly marketing strategy. And I'll make sure to include a link in the comments there so you can jump on over and check it out. We'll see you guys there.